I want to thank you so much for coming out for the Unity Walk. It's our second annual walk. We have definitely grown in our size and our numbers, and so I appreciate that all, and I appreciate your support throughout the week. We're all going to march down to the silent tree. Does that sound good? Yeah! All right, everybody, let's do this! The name of this march really encapsulates everything for me. It's the idea that this is going to be a unity walk, that regardless of our differences about some of the issues, about the Palestine-Israel conflict, about any of those things, that we as a community, we're going to come together and we're going to march together and we're going to show our solidarity with Israel and with our community. And there's this really there's a pretty ancient teaching about the Jewish people and about the people who support the Jewish people, and it's this idea that at our core, human beings just aren't that different. Right? I heard the Right Honorable Gordon Brown speak, and he said that if you look through all the major religions or all the religions of the world, it doesn't really matter which one you're reading. The same message comes out of everything. Whether it's love your neighbor as you love yourself, do unto others as you wish done to you. You can move through each of the faiths from Islam to Christianity to Judaism to Taoism to Buddhism, and you can move through all of them, and at every single one of them, each one of them simply talks about compassion towards your fellow neighbor. And I think that at some core level, we can all connect to that. And we as a people and as people, individuals, have that ability to connect to one another and to use that power to then move forward and to become activists. The most important thing is to not think about someone else as the other, to stop thinking, oh, well, it's that group which is doing something, it's this bad group of people and I don't like any of them, but to understand from a very real perspective that everyone here is a person, everyone involved in this is a person, and that at our core level, we all have those same basic fundamental values of love your neighbor as you love yourself, do unto others as you wish done to yourself.
So my name is Cameron Brown. I'm a PhD candidate here on campus. And when we say I'm a Zionist, when I finished my undergrad, I moved to Israel. I came back here to do my PhD in 2007, and actually in August, I went back to Israel. I came here in part to help with this week, and in particular, there's this theme, you know, for the last 4 years when I would walk by and you would see people who support the other side, there's this theme that the Palestinians are powerless and weak. And I want to just consider whether or not that's true. There's a Brian Walt, a Reformed rabbi, who wrote in Tikkun magazine that Israel is clearly the dominant power, that the Palestinians are powerless. Israel is the oppressor, the Palestinians the oppressed. Our religious tradition is clear, and it's clear that we have to be on the side of the oppressed. And I think that sort of symbolizes what you get for a lot of people who sympathize with the Palestinians. The problem I have is that the assumption is utterly false. That if you were to compare the Palestinians to all other stateless people, what you actually find is that they have more control over their own destiny, their own fate, than any other people in a similar situation. Now let me demonstrate this, because it's a very strong claim that I'm making. But imagine that tomorrow, Mahmoud Abbas, who's the president of the Palestinian Authority, has a press conference with Ismail Haniyeh, the head of Hamas in Gaza, and they declare three very, very simple things. They say, we are willing to permanently give up any claims to land beyond the 67 line. We agree to joint control or UN control over the old city in Jerusalem and the holy sites. And we agree that the right of return must be to a Palestinian state. It's not a lot. It's very simple. It's the basic things that would make a peace accord work.
Instead of letting another group define our identity for us to define our identity and what we see and what is Zionism for you. And how do you engage with Zionism? Do you engage with Zionism? Do you not engage with Zionism? And so that's where the idea for these shirts came of, this is what a Zionist looks like, right? It goes back to what I was saying earlier about talking about someone as the other, right? It's easy to say, oh, well, Zionists are racist, or Zionists are this, or Zionists are that. But when you meet a Zionist and you go, oh, I met Michael Burke, and he's not the most terrible person ever. In fact, I love him a lot. Or you meet someone else and you say, wait, that person's a Zionist? I didn't know that. Maybe not all Zionists are rotten people. Maybe not all Zionists are racist. And you start to think about what it means to be a Zionist, and you start to represent that identity and reclaim that identity, then you take back that word and you take back the power and the symbolism behind that, and we take back that movement as an entire unit and collective. So,
Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael.